May I introduce you to Syma, an artist, teacher, mentor, mother, and friend working in the Redhook area of Brooklyn. For her 80th birthday, her friends and I are asking for your help in maintaining her studio practice for another year. By donating to this worthy cause, every penny will go towards paying for Syma's studio rent and hiring a part-time helper to assist her with tasks she is no longer physically able to do. If you are able, we highly encourage you to pledge what you can to help Syma do what she does best. Over the years, the price of available space in New York has grown quicker than the increase of people's wages. During the pandemic, many studio complexes had to close their doors as artists struggled to find work. The lack of competition meant that studios that survived were in high demand, which raised their prices even higher. Syma, like most artists, had to work longer hours picking up extra jobs to make ends meet so she could afford to be a working artist. In the past few years, Syma's ability to take on that extra burden has diminished. Her limited mobility, a rise in studio prices, her health, and scarcity of available jobs has caused Syma to face the real possibility of losing her studio practice, a practice that is as necessary to her as breathing. So who is Syma? Syma was born Marcia Syma Gordon on April 16, 1944. The oldest of 4 kids, Syma quickly gravitated towards artistic outlets of expression, tearing up her mother's magazines to make collages and making mud sculptures in the front yard. However, becoming an artist was not an acceptable career to her parents, so Syma focused her studies on the mind, enrolling at the University of Pittsburgh and majoring in psychology with minors in sociology and art. It was the art classes that commanded her attention. After graduating with a bachelor's in 1966, Syma decided to move to New York City, where she joined the Art Students League, increasingly spending more and more time drawing and night classes. In 1968, Syma was offered her first teaching position at the Earl Kelly School in New York, despite not having previously earned a degree in art education. This began a teaching career that has spanned for over 5 decades. In 1974, Syma gave birth to her daughter. As a single mother, finding time to make art was challenging between teaching classes and caring for a young child. Art making became something she did late at night, or on weekends, having converted part of her apartment into a makeshift studio. Sadly, in 1979, Syma and her daughter were woken up by the sound of a fire in her studio. The two escaped unharmed, but the apartment and the studio were a complete loss. Friends and loved ones opened their homes, sharing living spaces for Syma and her daughter until they could get back on their feet. A year later, Syma was accepted into an artist in school residency, which gave her a living space and offered a balance between teaching and personal time. Syma held that position until 1995. Over the years, Syma has taught at several institutions, including CUNY, the Art Complex Museum, the Fuller Craft Museum, the Asia Society Museum, and the Met Museum of Art, where she has been a freelance teaching artist since 1999. In 2006, Syma moved into a newly renovated artist studio building in Redhook. This is where I met Syma for the first time, and she's been there ever since, lending her huge smile and positivity to everyone she encounters. She is our rock and cheerleader to always keep moving forward. We're hoping you will join her friends and I in making sure Syma can continue her practice by donating funds toward the cost of her studio rent and for an assistant to help with physical tasks. Please share this video with your friends and family, and let's give back to someone who makes life a little better for everyone else. Thank you.